Muzi Mahlambi is the spokesperson of the Education Department in KwaZulu-Natal. Thank you very much, sir, for your time this afternoon. And so at lunchtime yesterday, there was a request for all schools in the province to be closed. One, is it all schools? And two, have they since been reopened or are they still closed?
Yeah, the doctor that has just spoken, I don't understand him, because he's mixing the issues. So it's like he has not said anything. Because our decision yesterday should be understood in the context that we received a level 5 warning that was throughout this week. And yesterday we were faced with reality. Around 10 it started to rain as it was expected, and it was raining heavily. So we could not then as a department to be academic about it like the doctor is trying to be. We had to be practical, and to be practical we had to release our educators and our learners for safety. Because the question of curriculum coverage and stuff like that, we can always recover the time lost, but we can't recover lives. So we needed to decide between lives and curriculum, of which we chose lives. It's not for the first time that we are facing floods in KwaZulu-Natal. 2 years ago, when we were faced with a similar situation, we issued the similar communique, and schools understood us. What is it that we were trying to do, and what is it that we were saying? Coming to your question as to how has the day been like today, it's still raining in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, and yesterday we gave the schools and parents a leverage to say they must use their discretion, because the rain at times is localized. You don't want to say where I am in Durban is not raining. Hence, therefore, I'm expecting people, all the teachers and all the learners to be at school. Only to find that in Wanongo, Mankandla, Ntuzuma, it is raining, and they are seeing that it is raining. They wake up with the rain being heavy, so you can't expect then such learners and teachers to go to schools, because it is obvious that when they come back they will experience problems if they will not have experienced it on their way to the school.
Mr. Mahlambi, sir, what conversations are being had with the Transport Department, with the Infrastructure Department? Because when you speak of lives versus the curriculum and you're choosing lives over the curriculum, we're showing our viewers visuals of a woman, a mother, who is carrying her son who is no older than probably 5 years old, and she's crossing a river with him, and she's got another child that she has, and she's got her 2 children as they're crossing the river. As unimaginable as this is, it is happening in 2024 in South Africa. We are also showing our viewers visuals of a tree that has since fallen over, and people are using that as a bridge. As unimaginable as that is, it is happening in South Africa in 2024 in your province. And so given that you are saying that this is nothing new, what are the conversations that are being had with the relevant departments and yourselves to make sure that these learners are able to access education, whether there's rain or whether there's sunshine, safely?
Decisions that we take them collectively as the government, the provincial government. All heads of department and MECs, they come together and were led by COGTA in this regard. That is why even it's COGTA who has, on our behalf, in terms of all the departments, made an appeal to the national government to say we'll need over billions to reconstruct and repair the infrastructure that has been damaged. That will include your roads and everything that we see that is being damaged. The nowadays rains will surprise you. They will do something that is unprecedented. They will collapse a bridge that no one has ever anticipated, that such a well-constructed bridge could be collapsed. But the rains these days, the floods, they will do that. So it's something that as a collective, as government, including scientists, including engineers, we are working towards finding a solution. But we all know the climate change, how it's affecting everyone throughout the world. As South Africa, in KwaZulu-Natal in particular, we are experiencing something that we used to see on TV occurring in other countries. We are now having that in our. And when you look at the floods that occurred 2 years ago, you will see that when infrastructure, including roads, when they were repaired, there was an improvement in terms of civil engineering and other science that needed to be applied in those bridges and in those roads.
Mr. Mahlambi, so if we could please, for maybe just for the purpose of this question, minus the past 2 years that you speak of in terms of the heavy rains that have impacted the province, minus this recent bout of rains. And so before that, to your knowledge, how many children were still making long distance journeys to get to school? How many children are you aware of that were having to cross rivers, whether let's minus even the rain? How many children are you aware of that have to make those journeys in order to access education in KwaZulu-Natal? Perhaps maybe there's no figure, but maybe you can give us a percentage. Is it 10%? Is it 20%? Is it 50% of children in KwaZulu-Natal that are still having to walk long distances, that are still having to cross rivers as a result of there being not even low-lying bridges for them to get to the other side?
Yeah, I lost you, but if I am audible, we will say as long as there is one child that is in need of the services of scholar transport, I don't know what's happening. It keeps on muting me, this it keeps on saying that I'm muted. But we were responding to say, yes, we do know the figure. There are many and thousands of learners, but already there are thousands of learners that are benefiting out of our scholar transport. And each year we increase, and we know the areas that are in need and in terms of their priority. We are always increasing the number every year. But we still have a long way to go as the government, as the department, that we acknowledge.
And you see, Mr. Mahlambi, so you need not be an academic or a scientist to figure out that when heavy rains come or when natural disasters come and the situation is already like that on the ground, it's going to exacerbate it. And just maybe looking at the week ahead, what is the outlook for the education department? What is the message to parents and children?
We wrote to our schools yesterday. We communicated with them. We issued a circular which is very clear to them.
Okay, I think that's all the time it will allow us. Mr. Muzi Mahlambi, apologies for the intermittent connection. KwaZulu-Natal Department of Education spokesperson.